Hello YouTube, RJ. Hey, in the last video, we finished building the Lynx Easy SW receiver. Got the board assembled, was ready to make up the buttons and switches, and need to get some coax made up for the audio out and for the antenna input and for the DC input. So since I finished that video, I went ahead and finished that. So that's what's been done. The cables have been put on, the switches and buttons have been soldered on. We're at that, smoke test time. It's time to put power to this thing and see if the smoke comes out, see if it works, see what happens. So everybody cross your fingers. Here we go. I know that with a board this complicated, we probably got about a 50-50 chance of this thing working. Let's see where we are. Here's our wall wart. We're going to go ahead and hook up the power, throw the switch. We got lights. Hey, I got text on the screen. Hey, look at that. The VFO is up and running. How about is our encoder working? Oh yes, our encoder is working. How about our buttons? Okay, that's going up in steps. Or I'm sorry, down to 10 hertz as far as I can go. 100 hertz, kilohertz, 10 kilohertz, 100 kilohertz, megahertz. It won't go any farther. And you should be able to go all the way back down, make sure that it's moving by that much. Yep, it is. Hey, things are looking really good here. Okay, so let's go ahead and hook up our antenna. We don't have an antenna tuner on her, but hopefully we can get a little noise out of it. See if we can get a little sound. Speakers are on. Got some home. I get grounding home, but I'm not getting any sound. So let's move up to a meg and run up to 20 meters. And probably ought to be able to pick something up better there. Not hear anything. Definitely drawing power. Well, I wonder if our VFO is working and we're generating our frequencies. Let me keep the scope on, take a second to warm up. Let me grab a probe, see if we can probe and see some frequency. See if I can see anything coming out. Let's see, I should be able to get a ground right here, easy. All right, let's get down and see what we got. Okay, 24. Yep, we're getting her there. Getting her there. Okay, so those should be coming in the bottom of the chips right here. Those two, VFO and BFO. So, yep. Yep. All right, so rolled out the VFO and BFO. Those are both working, generating the frequency I'd expect to see. So let me go ahead and pause the video, jump in and start doing a little diagnostics, come back and let you know what I find out. See you in a few, hopefully. Okay, and I'm back after doing some diagnostics. It's been a little while. It's been a good hour. And what I've found is RJ screwed up. I missed some traces on the board. I've got a couple grounds that aren't connected. Unfortunately, a couple of them, one of the grounds for each chip is missing underneath the chip. I've also got a couple others. So at this point, I've got to go back and redo the board to fix those problems, reorder boards. But I really would like to know this thing's working if those are fixed, so that I don't get another board to find additional issues that I haven't found yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to blue wire jumper this thing, see if I can jump around with some blue wire, do a few little bodges and see if I can get this thing to work. That's going to be a little bit of tedious work, so I'm going to do that off camera, try to get some small wires soldered onto the surface mount chip's going to be fun to solder, these little wires to, but we'll give it a try. See if I can get a few jumpers run around and see if maybe we can get this board to react, and that'll give us put us in a good place. We'll know that if we fix that, then the board works. Since I'm going to have to relay out the board, there's a few things that I noticed that I want. One is markings for the encoder, so you know which way the plug goes. I talked about that earlier. I missed that. That was a mistake on my part. It's all a mistake on my part. This 7805, I don't like where it's at because you have a USB jack here to program this module. And let's just say that maybe we come up with an update for the firmware to fix something, or maybe we add a new feature, or maybe users update the code and have some great new thing they want to put in. Right now, you basically going to have to unsolder the 7805 to plug USB in here to program this thing. So I think I'm going to move this 7805 regulator over a little to give you enough room to get a USB cable in on that. I think that'll be a real good, smart move on our part. These things you should have thought about when you were doing. I didn't. I'm also going to give a little thought to the board. I'm a little not wild about the size of this antenna tuner. It's going to really add to the size of the radio, as you can see. By the time I get a screen and controls in and that stuff, it's going to really increase the size. So I'm doing a little thinking while I'm at it, thinking about how I might mitigate this some. So I'm not going to get in a big rush to get this board redesigned and out. I'm going to think about it a little bit. I'm going to give myself a couple extra days and think about what I'm doing and try to come up with a nice setup. When this thing's done, even if it's a one-off for my grandson, I want it to be nice. That's another thing I got to think about. So anyway, let me start bodging this board up with some blue wire and see if I can't get it to work. So I'll be back once I've either give up on it or bodged it up, ready to test again. So see you in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. Well, after quite a bit of bodge wiring, you can probably make out here some little blue wires jumping stuff here that I fixed my mistakes. I was able to get it working. I've got the LED lights on the bench off because they generate a lot of electrical noise. And so hopefully the video looks okay enough that you can see. I went ahead and hooked up the antenna tuner, and I'm going to demo that because I've already turned it on. I know it's working because with me bodge wiring, I didn't want to keep going back and forth. So I got it all bodge wired up and checked it out. It's working. Speakers are over off the side of the bench. I'm hoping you're going to be able to hear this okay. One thing I did do is put a little heat sink on the TO220 7809 because it was getting pretty hot. These are, they're thermal regulated. They'll shut off if they get too hot, but you don't want to abuse them. They are designed to handle quite a bit of heat, by the way. My calculations put it right at the limit of what I normally like to run them, so I was keeping an eye on it, and it was running a little hot for me. I don't mind 70, 80 degrees. When you start looking at 90 degrees and above, then that's too much. You're abusing the part at that point. This thing was hitting 100. So I threw a little clip-on heatsink onto it. I'm going to check it here in a little bit after I run it quite a long time. I think that's going to take care of it. So we'll probably add that on as a clip-on heatsink to it. Let me flip it on and show you what I got going on. I've got it defaulted to the 20 meter band onto the digital section. So we'll kick her on. I've got this set all the way right, centered up here. Basically, these two should cancel each other out. This should pretty well have no inductance, so you should be real close to what the antenna without an antenna tuner. And I'm going to use that to kind of show you why the antenna tuner and how that helps us. So all right, here's our okay, there's FT8. Hopefully you can hear that. I don't know if I need to put my mic over there, but you won't be able to hear me if I do that. So we'll see how it plays out. Got it turned down a little because this is kind of loud. It's going to get real loud in a minute because I want to show you what happens. These are not weak signals. But let me show you what happens when you start adjusting your antenna. So let's start throwing some inductance. We're going to start by increasing inductance until we get the loudest signals. I'll go back now. Can you see the strength of the signal, how much it jumped up? That's the reason we use it. Now, this is a strong signal anyway. So where you really will see that is if we go ahead and speaker out here. She's overdriving the speaker, the amplifier actually. Let's go find a weaker signal. Well, here, let me see if I get a stronger station here on 20. It's like 11 o'clock at night, so there's not any. Maybe put this between the two of us. There, maybe you can hear me and still hear the. Not much going to be on 20 meters this time of night. So let me go ahead and change. Let's see if there's anything on 40. We'll go down to 40 and okay. Sounds good. I've worked plenty of guys with the hot water 101. Let me turn the audio on the speakers up. So you see, you know, SSB, you're not sideband, you're not having a problem picking up. Yeah, 20 feet out on the right wing and the other 20 feet out on the left. The 40 still open a little more. Picking up all kinds of CW. So I showing sideband and CW. Why don't we jump up to broadcast, shortwave broadcast stuff, and take a look at that. So let's go up to like 9.4 and scan that area. Now that's going to, of course, change the antenna tuner. 9.510. I don't know what that is.
Caso acusativo. Escuchemos un segundo ejemplo. El plural no articulado de verbat es verbat. I, que se escribe con dos letras I, ya que al plural no articulado verbats le hemos añadido otra I. Y de esta forma, verbats se ha convertido en verbaci, los hombres. Un ejemplo de frase. Verbaci, auroman.
Still receiving it, even with the antenna tuner turned all the way down. Least inductance and centering out the capacitance. But watch as I turn it up.
También significa marido. Por ejemplo, Cristian y este verbatul anei.
Signal strength
Cristian
comes way
es el
up.
marido.
You get this set in a, say 500 kilohertz range, you're going to be pretty close. You can put it there and tune around in that range without changing it. So basically, you could make a little chart like I do for my ham tuner, just where to put it for a given set of frequencies.
De 2023. Por favor, especifiquen en los correos.
Remember, everybody was asking me the comments about the little R10. Could I receive WWV? And I said no, I couldn't. And the 3-tube, I couldn't. And as I remember, unless I'm getting confused, I don't think I got WWV on them. You could probably clearly hear this has no problem picking it up. So anyway, that's it. I mean, I don't want to bore you too much. It's working. I've got a bunch of fixes to do the PCB before I put in an order. I'm going to think about reorganization, maybe some. Maybe I won't change it. Maybe I will. Trying to figure out how to fit this in and have the screen and the controls, and Momos would have to have the antenna tuner to one side and the tuning normal controls to the front, which may be okay. I mean, kind of make it a little 4x4 cube. It'd be kind of a different arrangement. What do you think of that? How about some comments on that? Maybe redesign everything to try to, just not sure how I can compact it more, make it more user friendly. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I will get the board all fixed, the PCB layout, and we'll do it again. We'll build another one till we get it right. But this one's working fine with a couple bodge wires on it. Hope it meets your approval. So with that, hey, thanks for hanging out through this battle to get this thing working. Enjoyed your company, and I hope to see you in the next video.